Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. The Talk of Las Vegas, streaming on that Odyssey app, AUDACY, for all your great shows here on KDAWN and around the world. It's a terrific app. Get that right now. And, of course, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. So check us out there. And if you happen to be listening on the radio and you can, pop that YouTube channel on, that would be amazing, because then you can chat with us in the chat box, give your thoughts about everything going on in the world of pro wrestling right along with us, because, we're fans too, and we have a great time doing this show. So hopefully you hop in and interact with us. We would certainly appreciate it. As you can tell, it was a long night yesterday, because we had to get through WrestleDream yesterday from AEW, and what a night that was. We're going to hit that and all the news in pro wrestling right here on the Mark Hoke Show. Got to welcome in one of my ride or dies here on the Mark Hoke Show. Let's get him in here right now from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling in Austin, Texas, and home of those #1 Longhorns who took care of business yesterday. Not bad, Stu Myrick. Way to go.
The Golden Hat returns to the 40 acres.
Oh,
it was a glorious day to be a part of Longhorn Nation. 34-3. Quinn Ewers shook off the early rust, did the thing, and man, it was a fun day at the Cotton Bowl.
There you go. And Penn State had a nice day at USC, too. Not as nice as I wanted it to be, but a win nonetheless, so we'll take it. Wild one there in the Coliseum, and, of course, North Dakota State won. So, Stu, I'm getting my North Dakota State-South Dakota State matchup next week.
Oh, there you go.
1-2.
Well, I think we got a slightly bigger game coming up next week here with Georgia coming into town to take on the #1 Longhorns. Georgia getting the win yesterday. So Georgia, Texas, get College Game Day coming. Oh, and by the way, it's F1 weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the U.S. Grand Prix will be next Sunday. I think Eminem is the Saturday night concert, and Sting's the Sunday post-race concert. Because it's Austin. We're the live music capital of the world. So they build the music around the race. So it'll be a huge deal down at Circuit of the Americas. And you mentioned WrestleDream. I think Tony Khan is thankful he did not make the trip to London with his Jaguars, because Jaguars are trailing 14-3, and they just gave up the ball, so Chicago's driving in Jaguar territory.
Boy, what a disappointing season for them. But it's okay. Tony Khan got something last night. A very interesting evening to the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, as WrestleDream takes place, and we may have seen the official end of an era with Bryan Danielson, who went down yesterday, and he went down hard. We're going to talk about that and break down this card, and that's kind of where I wanted to start today, Stu, with WrestleDream. First, I just wish we could find a sweet spot between 11 matches and 5 matches. 7 or 8. Literally. That'd be great.
It's, look, I understand those that feel like you're paying $50 for the pay-per-view. You want as much as possible. But at the same time, and I said this on the show on Thursday night, I would say at least half of the WrestleDream card felt like a decent AEW Dynamite episode. For instance, Hologram and Mortos, that could have been on Dynamite.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the match. Don't get me wrong, but that could have been on Dynamite. I am with those that say we should not see Ring of Honor titles on AEW show. At least not titled defenses. Now, if you want to use, say, Mark Briscoe in an AEW match, that's fine. But do not have him defending the Ring of Honor World title on AEW. Have him defend it on Ring of Honor. Same thing with even with the TV title with Brian Cage winning it from Atlantis Jr. And that was on the pre-show, and I get that, but still, it just feels like there are too many titles.
Yeah.
So
and I'm sure maybe there's going to be some changes made now that this TV deal's done. We'll find out, but yeah, we did have a couple of ROH matches on there, and you were talking about the pre-show. Brian Cage finally gets a good singles belt. I'd like to see him get an AEW belt, but, ends up winning the TV title last night from Atlantis Jr. Solid match, but a good win for Brian Cage. Brian's done a lot of time here. He trained here at FSW and, was just fantastic. So I'm happy for Brian. That's a good win for him.
Yeah. Congratulations, Brian Cage. We'll see what he can do with that, and I'm going to assume, as far as I know, he is not in a faction right now, because you don't have the Gates of Agony around. He's not in any other faction. I guess it's just him, which I wouldn't mind seeing anyway. I think he does his best work as a solo act. Being a part of a group, just, I don't know. It's not, or maybe just we've seen him in the group too much. So I'd like to see him on his own.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Melissa out there. That'd be okay. She's pretty awesome.
Well, that's the thing. AEW could use another ring announcer. And Melissa Santos is a fantastic ring announcer. Of course, the venerable voice of Lucha Underground. She announced here for Wrestle Circus quite a few times. I would love to see her, with the mic in the ring.
Yeah. So, but congratulations, Brian Cage, picking up a title there. And then, unfortunately, I have the list here that doesn't have the matches in order. Let me see if I can get these right. The M&M collection. Taking on the Acclaimed, and Rico's there. If you remember Rico from WWE, he was working with with Chuck and Billy. Rico and the Sideburns. Back.
Where did they dig him up from?
I don't know. It's kind of a highlight of the night for that match, but it was good. Solid match, and I think Eminem looked okay in this one, but they do not defeat the Acclaimed. Nobody beats the Acclaimed. That was just a fun little match at the start. But yeah, Rico giving you a little nostalgia pop there, Stu.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know where they dug him up from, but yeah, good interaction with him and Billy Gunn. Harkening back to the days of Chuck and Billy. But yeah, you knew the Acclaim were going over. Although MXM, they're becoming one of those fun acts to get a good smile on your face when you see them in the ring.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, and just got the shaft in WWE. So we'll look forward to seeing if those guys can maybe get a match with the Outrunners. That'd be kind of
there we go. That needs to be at Full Gear. The Outrunners versus MXM collection.
Oh, that'd be all right.
Gotta have that. Come on, Tony.
Tony Khan, I just booked your pre-show coming up.
Not the pre-show. It needs to be on the pay-per-view.
Okay, we'll do that.
We want it. I want that as a featured tag match on the pay-per-view. It won't happen, but that'd be fantastic.
Also had an 8-man match that took place on that card. And bear with me for 1 second here, because I got to get, why is this? Oh, I see. I have the wrong window open. Bear with me for one moment, guys.
Well, I can because I've got it pulled up. Outrunners, Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly from the conglomeration defeating John Silver, Alex Reynolds from Dark Order, along with the Tony Nese and Ari Daivari from the Premier Athletes.
Yeah, and the Outrunners, I don't know what it is about them. And maybe Stu, it's because it's from our era that you see these guys, but God, their energy is so infectious. They're just fun.
Yes.
And they can go too. I mean, it's a little bit more of a hammy comedy act sometimes, but there's a reason that people are really into these guys. And it's funny, they really outshone the conglomeration guys in that match. It was really neat to see, and you got to wonder what the future is for the Outrunners here.
Well, like I said, I think again, Outrunners, MXM at Full Gear, and then we need to get the Outrunners in a title shot. I say have them beat the Bucks.
Wow, calling Outrunners over Bucks.
Yes.
Interesting.
Make that at World's End.
Well, you just want to, you're turning the tag team division upside down today, Stu Myrick.
Yes.
Which is okay. It needs it.
It needs it.
It needs it. But yeah, so pretty wild one there to help open the show up. And then let's see. Sorry, Stu. I still don't have that window I wanted. What was the next match on the card? I apologize.
Well, that was the end of the pre-show.
Yeah.
So you also had Anna Jay beating Harley
Cameron. Yeah, I knew there was one more. And that was a weird one, by the way. Yeah, decent match. But the end. Have you seen, Stu, a referee reach out and tap somebody's shoulder to tell him to get it down? That was bizarre.
That was I think that was a case of the referee forgot that there are like 40 cameras around the ring.
Yeah.
He was trying to be subtle but he got caught. I mean, it's it's just, I say it wasn't weird. It was just a matter of, like I said, he forgot there are cameras and tried to be subtle, and it ended up being caught. And so everybody ragging on it. So, I get it.
Yeah. And then last match we'll get into before the break. And this is a fascinating result on this. With Switchblade Jay White taking on Hangman Adam Page. Of course, Page is coming off that crazy feud with Swerve Strickland. And Jay White goes over on this. Counters the buckshot lariat at the end of the match. And a really good match between the two of them. But Jay White gets the win. And Hangman was furious. And don't blame him. But Jay White moves forward on this. What did you think? Were you a little surprised that Jay White won this match?
I was a lot surprised, quite honestly, because Hangman's been on this, path of the righteous run, and then he gets derailed by Jay White. And Jay White's a fantastic wrestler. I get a little nervous when he gets the mic just because he's long-winded, but I was surprised, but I'm going, okay, this could be something interesting because you're kind of forwarding the bang bang gang a bit. And by the way, where were the guns? They weren't out there. I think they said they were nursing injuries. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Jay White, and I wonder what's next for Hangman Adam Page. Do they run this back? Does Page go after somebody else? I like Hangman Adam Page, but it just seems like they put him in these storylines, and then all of a sudden, it doesn't take long before he's like, okay, what next?
Yeah.
I mean, it's this whole path of the righteous thing, him being angry all the time. Well, okay, we've had that. But now he's lost, and I'm kind of going, okay, now what?
Yeah, for both of them. Now, Jay White is saying that he's on a revenge tour, basically, so we'll find out who else Jay White has in his sights. But it will be interesting to see where Hangman Adam Page goes after this, because taking a loss like that, very surprising. I mean, all the momentum's on his side, and then he goes down. So we'll see what happens with the Hangman. But, of course, there's not a lack of opponents out there by any stretch of the imagination. So nice job, Jay White. Gets the Duke. So we'll keep it rolling with Jay White. And we're going to keep the show rolling here a little bit. And, of course, just want to remind everybody, if you didn't bet on last night's card, you could have on betonline.ag. Just go to themarkhokeshow.com and click on one of the banners, either on our front page or sponsor page, and you can get an amazing 50% sign-up bonus up to $1,000. I'm handing you $500. What else can I do? Use the code BOL1000 and just, like I said, go to markhokeshow.com first, and then you can bet on wrestling on betonline.ag. Sports, all the football games right now if you want to hop in, baseball. They have cricket, pro wrestling, politics, anything you want. So check it out, betonline.ag. All right, stick around, everybody. We got more as we're going to keep rolling down through this card from WrestleDream last night, and a match that goes along with something The Undertaker said this week that Stu and I are going to get into a discussion about. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, the Odyssey app, and streaming YouTube, Facebook, and X. We'll be right back.
.101.5 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get funky like a monkey. Oh, yeah. It's like the American Dream. Dusty Rhodes just had a heavenly birthday a couple of days ago. Boy, I miss Dusty, but it's all good. Welcome back to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Stu Myrick in the house. I try not to squeak my voice there. I'm just excited, Stu. I'm excited.
Well, hey, the Jaguars just scored.
Oh, good for them.
So it's about to be 21-10.
Ugh.
21-10, 6:02 left in the third quarter.
I think
in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
They're learning a lesson about Doug Peterson, by the way. The one we Philadelphia fans learned. But that's okay. We'll see. If I wish I'd have gone to WrestleDream, I could have put my arm around Tony and said, "Hey, let me tell you something, brother." But I did not.
Well, Shad Khan came out this week and, gave everybody with the Jaguars a vote of confidence. So,
Which means he's not that confident.
Well, yeah.
Whenever you have to do the vote of confidence, it means you're not that confident.
This is true.
That's how that works. Yeah. All right. So back to WrestleDream that took place up at the Tacoma Dome last night. A crazy night, to say the least. Mariah May knocks off Willow Nightingale. Willow had some pretty good moments in this match, solid one, but Mariah May retains the championship. How long you think they're going to ride this one, Stu? I mean, Mariah is looking very good, and I think because she was under Toni Storm for that so long, she's very underrated. I don't know if AEW fans really understood just how statuesque, strong, great skill set in the ring. She's incredibly talented and, not just a looker. So, how long is Mariah May going to keep this title?
That's a good question. I half expected to see Toni Storm come back, but of course she didn't. They gave Willow some good spots. I really would like to see her get win the world title eventually, and it feels like maybe that time might have passed, but she's still very popular. As far as Mariah May, I could see her holding it possibly through maybe Revolution.
Wow.
Next spring.
Nice.
The question, of course, will be who takes the title off of her. And they've got several that are, in line. Yeah, it's just a matter of who do you want to pull the trigger on? Yeah,
and I'll be honest with
Willow. Do you bring back Britt Baker? Do you do the rematch with Toni Storm? There's quite a few that you could conceivably have defeat Mariah May.
Yeah, there's a lot of good depth in the AEW women's division right now. But, I wouldn't mind a long reign from Mariah. But I am looking forward to seeing Toni Storm come back and take her on again. Tony's over goofing around in Japan and putting up goofy videos. They're hilarious, by the way. If you're not following her on X, you should. She is something else. But, yeah, so Mariah May keeps her title, as did the scapegoat, Jack Perry, who defends his TNT title against Shibata yesterday. And, normally I hate the massive amount of no-sells, but Shibata just does it so well. And I thought Shibata had a really good showing last night. That may have been his best match in AEW last night. I thought he did a great job against Jack Perry. But your thoughts on Jack Perry winning and Shibata and, what's up next for the scapegoat?
Shibata looked fantastic. I thought the finish was too subtle. When Shibata had him in the sleeper and they go down, nobody paid attention to the fact that Jack Perry, raised his heels to get Shibata's shoulders on the mat.
Right.
Nobody called attention to that, and I think that's what led to some people being confused about the finish. So I don't know if that was the fault of Perry. Is that the fault of the ref? Is that the fault of the commentary team? I don't know. It was a great match. I get the feeling, and this kind of goes into Okada and the Bucks, that they're gonna ride this. When one of them loses the title, I think all of them are going to lose the title. So it could be we'll have one night where the Elite become, no more gold. So when does that happen? That's anybody's guess. But yeah, it was a good match with Shibata. I mean, Shibata just, he was really good. But it's what you expect from Shibata. So
he's the wrestler.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's a phenomenal talent.
But you brought it up now, so I was going to talk about it after the Young Bucks match, after we got through that one. But since you said it, the Elite are in an interesting position right now. Of course, that's, the Young Bucks and Jack Perry and Okada. Tag team champions, Continental champion, TNT champion. We're supposed to be the real group of bad guys in AEW. That is now a mantle that is carried by the new Blackpool Combat Club. Do you see a conflict coming between the BCC and the Elite? Because these guys are not going to just sit around and kind of hang out. They're going to come after gold and trying to take over AEW. So do we get a really good battle between that group of guys?
That's a good question. I would suspect that, yes, BCC will come after the Elite eventually because, and of course we'll get to it with the main event, but Moxley has been saying that the AEW is broken. It's not the company that he came into. It needs to be fixed. And that's what they're setting out to do. That's what the Elite were trying to do when they attacked Tony Khan. And I've said this before. It's like, okay, well, now hold on. Who's going to be the fixer of the company? Is it going to be BCC or is it going to be the Elite? Let's figure this out and then go there. I get the sense that BCC are going to go after everybody. Yeah, they're going to go after the Elite. They're going to go after good guys, bad guys. Doesn't matter. Because I guess there is some sort of, this is bigger than us, whatever. This is not your company anymore. So I would think, yes, we will eventually see a face-off between the BCC and the Elite. I just don't know when.
Yeah, because really with the Elite, this BCC group is going to have them push down the card a little bit unless something changes. It's an interesting dynamic between these two groups So I'm curious to see when they decide that they're going to butt heads.
Yeah.
Then we had the match for the International Championship.
Well, now hold on. Let's not brush over the returns.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot. I apologize.
Garcia comes out to help Shibata.
Thank you.
Then here comes MJF. He back from filming Happy Gilmore 2. He's facing off against Garcia and then starts pummeling him. And then here comes Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah. The dominoes were falling out there.
Now, and I'm thrilled to see Adam Cole back and, cleared and everything. They've got to explain the whole thing with, the devil, Undisputed Kingdom. Because remember, last time we saw Adam Cole, he was the leader of the Undisputed Kingdom. Now, I'm going to assume he's not. But they're going to have to explain that. Whether they do it Wednesday on Dynamite or not, I don't know. But they've got to bridge that little gap of logic.
Yeah, that's going to be.
I think they can pretty easily. They just got to do it.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting too because now Adam Cole and MJF have swapped roles between heel and babyface. So that's another issue for this whole thing. That why is this still going on? I mean, I kind of thought they were pushing that aside at Double or Nothing, but Tony wants that match, so I guess we're going to get it.
Yeah, I think that's what we will see. I'm not sure we will see it at World's End. I think that'll be one we save to Revolution. Because I think it's going to be Garcia and MJF first, or maybe Garcia goes after Jack Perry, and then. But I do think we will eventually see MJF versus Adam Cole at a pay-per-view in the near future.
Yeah, because we've still got Full Gear coming up in November, so don't forget about that one. A little Thanksgiving present for everybody. Okay, now we go to the International Championship match. Takeshita and Ospreay and Ricochet. A wild match. And it was funny that I tweeted out before the match, I'd really like to see Takeshita win this match. I really would. I think he deserves it, and I think it would certainly be a nice twist for everybody. And lo and behold, he gets out of there with the title, thanks to a little help from Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis. And we have a new international champion. But the interesting part about this match is, once again, we saw a lot of the aerial stuff and a lot of the gymnastic stuff. And ironically, our friend The Undertaker did an interview on Booker T's Hall of Fame show. And this is what he said about the difference between about storytelling and moves and the importance of them in pro wrestling. And I don't want to get into the whole thing. He essentially, and it's a long quote. So he essentially said, look, storytelling's the priority. The guys are in a tough spot because they're so athletic, so they want to show that off and they want to try and do everything they can in the ring. But when it comes down to it, it's about telling a story. And once again, I was going through the X feeds and stuff, checking it out and seeing what everybody was saying about the match. And a lot of people were saying, why are they doing this stuff? Why are Ricochet and Ospreay flying around all over the place? Just get down to it. And, we talked about this last week too, Stu, about, was this a wrestling match? And there's no doubt this was a pretty good match. But is The Undertaker right? Are they doing too much?
It is. It's hard to say. And I have all the respect in the world for Undertaker. Undertaker is an old school guy. He is totally old school. And there are those from that era, and I'm talking even before Undertaker, that would say that Ospreay and Ricochet were doing too much. That storytelling is the priority. And that is true to an extent. at the same time, I think today's fans, if you see Will Ospreay and Ricochet in the ring, you expect to see the flips and everything.
And the crowd was going nuts.
Yeah, so I think there's got to be a balance. You got to have the balance of showing off the athleticism while at the same time telling the story of the match. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was great. The Kyle Fletcher turn, I think, was expected. I actually felt like Takeshita was going to win the title. And that's what happened. I was a little surprised that Ospreay actually ate the pin, but with the interference and all that, okay, I can see that. Where all this goes from here, that's going to be an interesting thing to watch, because, does Will Ospreay want a rematch? Does he go in a different direction? Obviously, there are those that are going to be lining up to take on Takeshita. And we're going to see the Don Callis family, get involved in all that. So there's quite a bit of storytelling around this match, and even going forward from this match that can happen that could be very compelling.
Yeah, and Takeshita was a great dance partner for those guys last night, too. I kind of got a laugh when they did a sequence where Ospreay and Ricochet did a sequence where they were flying all over the place. They landed, and then Takeshita just came in and clocked them both. That was great. And I think that was kind of symbolic to some of the fans that don't necessarily like all the acrobatics to say, yeah, down you go, you goofballs. And Takeshita did a great job hanging with those guys the whole night. I'm happy for him, because he was starting to fade off a little bit, and he's just too good a wrestler to get pushed to the side. So a huge win for him last night. We'll see if maybe Ricochet comes after him. Ospreay's going to have some business with Fletcher, I would imagine, for a while. But, it definitely was one of the matches of the night. And I think it struck a good balance. So if you get a chance to watch that match, I'd highly recommend it, and see what you think. It was pretty incredible. So,
yeah, I totally agree. And it did strike a balance. I do agree. It's going to be Ospreay and Fletcher. In the coming weeks, does Ricochet go after Takeshita by himself? Does Ricochet go in a different direction? Like I said, again, there's going to be, plenty of challengers for that international title around the waist of Takeshita, and good on AEW to take advantage of the success that Takeshita, easier for me to say, had in the G1. So it made total sense.
Yes, it did. All right, we are going to take another break. And by the way, I am watching the chat box. Don't worry when we're getting to some of your comments there when they fit in, because I'm kind of seeing what everybody's saying. We'll make it all work out. But I do also want to remind everybody that if you need any work done with embroidery, T-shirts, promotional items, I've got a great guy for you, Mike from Off Grid Creations here in Las Vegas, but he can take care of anybody all across the planet. Just give him a call. That's all you got to do. 661-300-1115. That's Off Grid Creations, off-gridcreations.com. Once again, that phone number, 661-300-1115. Tell him Mark Hoke sent you, and I'm going to guarantee you he's going to hook you up and take great care of you. So once again, it's off-gridcreations.com. All right, and when we roll it back, still going through the WrestleDream card. Oh, man, what about that ending? Oh, got some people talking, that's for sure. Stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show with Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling in Austin. Follow him at Stu Myrick, STEWMYRCK. We'll be right back.
Looking for high-quality custom screen printing in Las Vegas? Look no further than Off-Grid Creations. Need a few custom t-shirts for a local event, band merchandise, or family reunion? We've got you covered. Large order of uniforms for your staff, sports team, or club? We can handle that too. Our experienced team will work closely with you throughout the entire process from design consultation to final product. Call us at 661-300-1115. That's 661-300-1115. Or visit our website at off-gridcreations.com. Get a free consultation today.
Come for the treats, stay for the winning. With more free play giveaways and more bingo jackpots this October at Jerry's Nugget Casino. Join Hot Seats every Sunday, Monday, and Friday for instant free play. Every session, check out the second chance bingo jackpots. Winner, winner, stay for dinner. Delight in Jerry's $16.89 steak and shrimp meal. Savory steak, succulent shrimp, plus all the sides. Served every day 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. This October, get more treats at Jerry's Nugget Casino.
Jerry's Nugget Casino. Your kind of place.
1015 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, let's get back to it, Hulkamaniacs. Oh, man. I'm fighting a little bit of lack of sleep last night. I'm not going to say why, though. I told Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
These things go late, and then if you stay up for the media scrum, man, yeah, it's a late night.
Yeah,
I mean, it's now I did not stay up for the media scrum just because whatever, but I think it probably went till at least 1 a.m. Central, which would be 11 p.m. there.
Yeah,
that's late. That's past my bedtime.
Oh, come on, Stu. You're an all night kind of guy. That's what the ladies are telling me down in Austin.
Please. 10, 20 years ago, sure. At 56 years old, no.
Come on, Stu. I'm 55. Let's go, man.
No,
let's go. I'm bringing out next time you're out to Vegas. We're gonna paint the town red all night.
No, thank you.
No, all right, fair enough.
No. Paint it page.
All right, best in pro wrestling news here on the Mark Hoke Show. On KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. By the way, don't forget to join us on Thursday nights online on YouTube, X, and Facebook, starting around 8:15-ish Pacific time. We're having some fun with that. We had our time machine tournament. Stu Meyer crowned our first ever champion, by the way. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. Let's get the hang of it. Everybody's going to be like, oh, my God, this is going to be awesome. So it was pretty cool. I won't say who it was. Go look, and I'll have the clips up as soon as I can. I haven't had time to do any editing yet on that. All right. We get to the hologram Beast Mortos, best of 3 falls. Like you said, could have been on Dynamite, but a decent, good showing for both guys. But I don't know. I just wasn't that. I don't know. Hologram just doesn't do it for me.
Me neither. I mean, it's fun, I guess, and everything. And look, it was a lucha match. Especially here, we see a lot of lucha libre since we're so close to Mexico. But yeah, this was a Dynamite match.
Yeah, but both 2 talented wrestlers. But it's like when you have Will Ospreay and Ricochet, and then you have Hologram. It's kind of like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I think it did suffer from being afterwards after the triple threat.
Yeah, it didn't help because I was just sitting there like I just watched Ospreay and Ricochet fly all over the place, and we're doing it again, but not quite as crisply. So,
What did you think of the whole Swerve Strickland and MVP and Shelton Benjamin?
Yeah,
that was right before it.
Yeah, we had the Swerve Strickland interview. Sticking with Prince Nana, he is what Swerve decided to do, and Shelton Benjamin and Swerve got into a little bit. No Bobby Lashley. So I'm a little surprised about Lashley not coming out, but we'll see when Lashley finally makes his appearance. It was all right. It was all right. Like I said, I was just shocked we didn't get Bobby Lashley.
I think I get and I get that. I was watching a couple of the recap videos. Our good friend Simon Miller from What Culture Wrestling, he does, of course, a recap, and he said something that made total sense. You had the returns with MJF and Adam Cole earlier, so maybe they're saving Bobby Lashley for Dynamite, maybe to try to pop that rating a bit. So I guess in that sense, it kind of makes sense, but still, it felt like, yeah, that was the spot to bring out Bobby Lashley, and we officially get Hurt Syndicate or whatever they're going to call it. So, but it was a nice interaction. Yeah, Swerve sticking with Prince Nana. I get Nana, plugging his coffee at the very beginning. It's Prince Nana, sure. I also kind of chuckled at Swerve giving Prince Nana a little bit of business for selling pot to kids.
That was bad.
That is bad, but still, I am glad that Swerve is sticking with Nana, at least for now. And I think we will set up this whole rivalry between the two entities.
Yeah. There's just one part of me though that I wish that Swerve wasn't involved with those guys yet. I don't know. I just feel like Swerve should be hovering around the world championship picture, and he's going to get derailed a little bit by this. So that's just me. I don't know. Me, I'm being a little picky on that. Darby Allin knocks off Brody King. Darby gets the hell beat out of him for a long time, and then does some pretty cool spots. That coffin drop to Brody on the stairs didn't look like it felt real good, but Darby Allin gets the victory last night over Brody King, and then we saw him later in the night. Fun match, but once again, I don't know if we needed this on the pay-per-view.
Agreed.
It was for the Washington fans.
It was. Both guys, huge stars on the independent scene on the West Coast. Interesting that we saw a handshake at the end between Darby and Brody. Does that, delve into something else or what? Brody King, I guess he's still with the House of Black. Where's the House of Black, by the way? Or where are they? We didn't see Malachi, didn't see Buddy. Is Julia Hart coming back? Brody King says she is. We'll see. It was a fun match if you just want to see just all out brutality.
Oh.
But again, yeah, this was one that could have been saved for Dynamite.
Yeah, Darby talked to me about his recovery routine on the show a while back, and I just don't know how he does it. That man just takes a beating and somehow comes back and he's fine. It's incredible. So, yeah, nice. So good win for Darby Allin last night. And we're actually getting close to the end of the hour here, Stu. And I wanted to give you a chance real quick, got a couple seconds. Tell everybody about your show for the first hour so people, if they can't stick around, don't hear about it.
Yeah, Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Podcast episodes drop midweek. Great wrestling insight from great wrestling insiders. No, I don't think I'll be doing a show this week, only because I'll be out of town on work. But it is up there. I'm going to try to do something. I'll be back the following week. But yeah, we have a good time. It's just, it's recapping everything and giving your, it is Sports Guys. So we do, give you a little sports talk as well.
All right. So make sure you guys check that out and follow Stu at Stu Myrick, STEWMYRCK. And when we come back, we still got a few matches on the WrestleDream card, including, of course, that incredible finish to the night with Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. We've got a new world champ and maybe a new world beater too. So stick around, everybody. Follow us on Twitter X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook The Mark Hoke Show. Subscribe to us on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and check out markhokeshow.com for all the information about the show and our sponsors too. They'd certainly appreciate it. Stick around, everybody. We got another hour to go on The Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We'll be back for hour number 2 in just a little bit.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show.
And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.